Okay, so I guess in a world where the Star Wars fan base is divided into two parts, the fans of the originals and the fans of the new ones, the fans of the Disney Star Wars fans who like the Disney Star Wars, the ones who don't like the Disney Star Wars, they've been divided. So I guess in this world I have to pick a side on whose side I'm on for this whole freaking argument. Well, I guess you guys can already confirm what side I'm on. I own both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, so it kind of confirms that I like the Disney Star Wars. I find it sheerly wrong that they're actually cash grab bad movies. But do I agree with Kathleen Kennedy on her whole thing to make these Star Wars? No. I mean, for absolutely loving the Disney Star Wars, because I liked ranking them. I guess Rogue One would be the worst, then it would be Solo, then it would be The Last Jedi, and the best is still The Force Awakens. But what's weird is that you kind of can see through the Star Wars fans who hate the new Star Wars. If you are a new Star Wars fan, I'm fine with you hating The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, Solo, and Rogue One. I'm perfectly fine with you guys disliking those. It's an opinion. Me of all people should know that. However, why I don't think Kathleen Kennedy should be running Star Wars is that she's not even a Star Wars fan. That's why Marvel is magic. It's amazing because Marvel likes it. Kevin Feige loves Marvel. He loves all the comics. He's just a good person who likes them. Kathleen Kennedy's not even really a Star Wars fan. Why is she running it? No freaking clue! If you guys think I'm only like the new Star Wars and I hate the old one, no, I still like the new Star Wars. I still like the old classic Star Wars because I have all of them on Blu-ray in one case. I still like the old Star Wars. In fact, I think they're as good as the new ones. But what makes the old ones look better than the new ones is that these old ones are classics. They're very more creative than these new ones, which I perfectly see. I guess The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens aren't necessarily the most original. Force Awakens of all movies isn't very original, but I still love it because it's so fun. It gives me so many nostalgic flashbacks. I love that film so much because it's well done. I mean, let's separate the film into the four main categories that I say every movie should be good in. If it's a perfect movie, it's fantastic in every single one. Force Awakens has a good plot. Even though it is from A New Hope, it still is a good plot. I mean, the plot from A New Hope is a good plot. So if you're going to say it's ripping off, it's because, we got to go back to being original if you guys really want to make sure to make up for the hate that is the prequels. So I guess the plot isn't bad at all. It's pretty good still. I guess it's not broken. The plot was really good back in the day, so why can't it be good this day? Because it's already been used. In fact, just because people call it a ripoff, just because it's a Star Wars film makes it a ripoff because it uses the same plot from another Star Wars film. What? It's clearly obvious that films like The Fast and Furious are complete ripoffs of films like Point Break. But does anybody care? No? Or Breakpoint. I don't remember the name of it. Hey, I'm sorry. The characters are good in this film too. I mean, Rey, we don't know much about her still. We don't know her last name yet. Rey's good. Finn's good. I like Finn because he's a different character. Poe, everybody, all the new characters are good in the new Disney Star Wars, which is a clear opinion. I can prove that the plot of The Force Awakens is good because it was good back in the day. It's harder to prove this because I just like these characters and I'm interested in them. I don't think Rey is the best character. But I think after watching The Force Awakens, I was like, she doesn't have a very good influence, and she just kind of is perfect in every way. But then after watching The Last Jedi, I'm like, actually, she's a pretty good character because we don't know much about her. You think they're going to answer every question on The Last Jedi that was set up at The Force Awakens? No, you can't do that, because you have a whole trilogy to do. If you answered all the questions of The Last Jedi, you'd be like, oh, so we're going to do a Return of the Jedi on us? No, the Return of the Jedi isn't bad, it's just worse than the first two, because it didn't give me any, that's awesome, I liked it, I love that film, it used to be my favorite, it isn't now, but I still love that film, but I don't get, like, super excited watching. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. With films like Empire and A New Hope, I'm like, perfect. They're just great films. And another reason, okay, the next thing, characters. I like the characters in The Force Awakens. Next would be, I guess, it's visuals. The visuals are, it's hard to say they're bad, because they're not bad. That I can prove these visuals are good, okay? The visuals are great in this film. Just watch it. That's kind of hard to insult the visuals of The Force Awakens. They're fantastic. And it's enjoyable. You really can't argue that The Force Awakens is an enjoyable, fun, and good film, because it is. It's fun, enjoyable, and good. So I guess its enjoyability is good too. So I look at every category. I like every category. I like The Force Awakens a lot. I completely forgot what point I was trying to prove. Maybe prove that The Force Awakens is a good movie. When The Force Awakens came out, everybody was on my side. We were like, yeah, The Force Awakens is awesome. The whole Star Wars fan base was united, and we all loved The Force Awakens. Then when Rogue One came out, half of the Star Wars fan base hated The Force Awakens. For what? What was the point? Why did you love The Force Awakens a year ago and dislike it now? Maybe they're like, my opinions changed. And the only real insult I hear from The Force Awakens is that its plot's too similar to A New Hope. So what? No, fine. I'll give the. So I love Disney Star Wars. I think it's as good as the originals. But I guess I'll give the other people some credit for what they like. I mean, I'm not really going to rant of how I love The Last Jedi, just because it's going to be hard to do that. Fine, I'll give you guys the benefit of the doubt on why Disney Star Wars also is flawed, and I think it needs some changes. For instance, let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy. I said I don't agree with Kathleen Kennedy because she's not a Star Wars fan. And I perfectly can tell that. There's so much advertising behind The Last Jedi, like car commercials. Marvel doesn't do that. Why? The Last Jedi wasn't made, I guess these new films are made to make money, but The Last Jedi, I feel like Rian Johnson did try and make a good film. Kathleen Kennedy was like, I'm going to advertise this as much as I can so I can make money. And the exact same problem with Rogue One, The Force Awakens, and Solo. It's all just been around the advertising, and it feels like Kathleen Kennedy just doesn't give a crap anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think people should see Solo. I want people to see Solo, because I loved that film. But I feel like the Star Wars fanbase is hating so much that, like, I'm fine. I actually kind of want Solo to not do well at its box office. To let the jerk Kathleen Kennedy learn what she's doing wrong. She's advertising the crap out of these movies, annoying me. That's like, when The Last Jedi was coming out, I wasn't even so, I was excited, yeah, because it was Star Wars. But going in, I was like, yeah, I'm really excited. But this isn't even in the top 10 most excited I've ever been for a movie. Because of how freaking annoyed I was by how much advertisement behind this film. It's not literally like no advertisement behind Infinity War. And that's what made it so good for me. Because I really wanted to watch this film. The Last Jedi I didn't have the highest anticipation for. Due to that one thing, the audience score is pretty low. Also, like, I just wasn't the most excited for The Last Jedi. And that's disappointing. I mean, I was freaking excited for The Force Awakens. I was so excited for that one. I was pretty excited for Rogue One, and I was pretty excited for Solo. But all these films, The Force Awakens is the only film that's like one of the most anticipated I've ever been for a film. It isn't, because, you know, I was more excited for Civil War and Infinity War. But I was so excited for it because it was a new Star Wars, and I didn't care about the advertising. Now The Last Jedi, and now Rogue One is a bit underwhelming. I was a bit more cautious from The Last Jedi. I feel like The Last Jedi deserved it. It's awesome. I love The Last Jedi, but I just I can't get so excited over The Last Jedi. When there's a film that's good, and I get so excited over it, because I loved it. The Last Jedi doesn't give me all the nostalgic flashbacks from the original Star Wars. It's just kind of like, base that out. The Last Jedi doesn't give me any nostalgic flashbacks. It doesn't make me as excited about the film. But whatever, I still loved it. I completely got sidetracked there. But whatever, I think Kathleen Kennedy just shouldn't be running Star Wars. And I feel like you guys, I said you shouldn't see Solo. I mean, I'm still stuck on whether you should see Solo. But I think letting this film make it $84 million in opening weekends and just making it fail that good. I kind of want to see Kathleen Kennedy learn her lesson and try and advertise this film better. Just do better. It's in no way Kathleen Kennedy's fault that Star Wars isn't good anymore. It's good now, but it feels like a money machine now. This is the first time Star Wars has ever felt like that. And I can hate more on the new Star Wars by the way they're made, like by, I guess, Kathleen Kennedy, pretty much just her. But I can't hate on the old ones because they were made by the same people as the original Star Wars. And I felt like George Lucas had this whole dream, and it was like, and then, whoever played the Anakin from the first Star Wars, yeah, it didn't do that good. But after seeing how it completely ruined his life, I, actually feel horrible for hating on the prequels. Are they toxic garbage? Yes, but I own all of them on DVD because I own every Star Wars movie. Yes, they are bad movies, but we don't need to say that they ruined Star Wars for not making it the exact way you wanted it to be. Why I'm happy for you guys hating on Kathleen Kennedy, which I'm not gonna do, because I'm just gonna go see Star Wars, because I'm seeing Star Wars because I love Star Wars. But I don't want people to constantly go bash Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, I didn't like that with George Lucas for the originals, but I'm perfectly fine if you guys want to kick. I want Kathleen Kennedy to leave Star Wars and not be the director, because she doesn't even like the franchise. It feels sick. It feels sick to see Star Wars as a money-making machine now, not as an actual franchise just to be creative and love it. It doesn't feel that way anymore. Yes, Disney Star Wars is great films. I like all of them, but it's just the way they're advertised, the way they're made, it doesn't feel... Star Wars is not the same. And yeah, I understand let the past die, kill it if you have to. I'm fine. That is a good statement. I understand that was the whole advertisement behind The Last Jedi, and I'm fine with that. I thought that was a great message, but Kathleen Kennedy has thought that way the whole time. Her thought process isn't to let the past die, kill it if you have to. That's the only way to become what you're meant to be. That's not her thought process. Her thought process is, everybody's going to see, we have such a huge fan base to make it. We will advertise the crap out of this film. We're going to make people get annoyed by it, and it just feels sickening. And in fact, another way I can insult Solo, because it was a cash grab. I'll admit, Solo's a cash grab, but I enjoyed the heck out of it anyway. But it did feel pointless, and if you did remove it from the saga, why? What does that do? How does it hurt the saga in any way? If we can make this film fail at the box office, then be so happy to see Kathleen Kennedy get kicked out. Just go see Solo on Redbox. So yeah. That was a real talk on how I'm kind of on both sides of this. I think the films are quality. I hate the advertising for them. But, yeah. Okay, whose side are you on? Do you think that Disney Star Wars should stop, or do you think it should continue? I'm not really on either side right now, but let me know in the comment section below. I see points of view from every side, so yeah. See you guys next time.